Hello and welcome to my Manaslu Gear Guide mini series where I focus on the equipment and clothing that I'm taking on my upcoming expedition to the world's 8th highest mountain. Now, if you are new here, my name is Callum. I'm a mountaineer and aspiring mountain guide, and over the course of this series I'll be examining everything that I'm taking to tackle my first 8,000 metre mountain. In today's episode, we're going to talk about climbing gear. Oh, yes, here we go. Cheers. Lovely. Well, hello and welcome back. I have been looking forward to this episode, probably more than most actually, because it's the one that I am least confident with, but also the one that fills me with so much excitement because we're going to talk about climbing gear. We're going to talk about my climbing gear. We're not going to talk about the right and wrong ways of doing things. I'm just going to give you a perspective on the way that I think I'm doing it, and hopefully you can take what you need from that. I have spent a long time thinking about this, researching it, making sure that I've found the right stuff, the right gear, the right equipment for the tasks and the jobs that I know that are going to be facing me when I'm high on the mountain. But let's just get stuck in. There are a few. I would say every single piece here is essential. It's also a bit of a bare bones. Like I'm trying not to take anything that I don't need. There's maybe only one item on this table that's probably not really needed, but there's a reason why I'm taking it. But yeah, I'll get into that. But let's just jump straight in and we'll work our way through the table and I'll talk about everything and the sort of reasons why I'm taking it and what it's for. Let's start with the obvious stuff. So in this little bag is my climbing harness. And I've decided to go for the lightest weight climbing harness that I could find, and this is the Petzl Altitude climbing harness. I've never actually climbed in it yet. This is a brand new purchase for me for this trip specifically, but there are a few things that I really liked about it. One, as you can see, like there's really not a lot to it. It's pretty minimal, but it does everything that you need it to. It also comes completely apart. Is that the right word? Because as you can see, the waist has a belt and clips, but also the leg loops have clips as well. So it means that you don't need to step into it. You can just put it around your waist, do up the waist belt, and then do up the leg loops. So actually, at higher altitudes, when you're working hard and you've got a big down suit on, you want something that's really easy to use. And quite honestly, this is probably the most no frills harness that I've ever came across. That has a belay loop, obviously, but then the only other attachment points are these little guys, little sewn on pieces of webbing, which quite honestly look super flimsy, but I'm assured by Petzl that they are remarkably strong. But yeah, super lightweight, minimal, does the job. Small tip / piece of advice: if you are looking at getting a harness to use at high altitude with big expedition clothing, think about going a size up, because what I noticed was when you put that down suit on, you instantly grow. So yeah, think about that as well. But yeah, Petzl Altitude harness. So far, I've really enjoyed it, and I look forward to trying it on the mountain itself. The other obvious is this ice axe. Now, this isn't my normal ice axe. I decided to take the plunge and treat myself to a shiny new ice axe. So this is a Camp Corsa Nanotech. It's not the lightest ice axe that you can buy, but I think it's the lightest mountaineering specific ice axe that you can buy. And what it does is it uses a combination of materials in order to achieve that. So it's aluminium on the frame, but the point, the pick is I can't remember the name of it. That's going to annoy me. But it's an alloy, and it's like harder than steel apparently, which I think is quite cool. But it means they can achieve super lightweight components that actually outperform steel. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think this bit's aluminium as well. But yeah, it's everything that you want it to be. I've seen so many people here in Scotland buying ice axes that are like so huge and so heavy. I think the way that we use ice axes has changed. And I think the way that you historically sized an ice axe probably was fine 50 years ago, but now, you know, I just don't think for me that makes sense anymore. So yeah, I've went for a small ice axe, slight curve in it, super lightweight. A friend of mine who has climbed Manaslu actually said that she never took her ice axe beyond base camp, like she just didn't need it. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that if I was carrying one, it was super lightweight, and that's what I've done. Oh, safety first, put that wee thing back on. The next thing, crampons. Love, love, love talking about crampons. Don't let the bag fool you. These are Gravel, and these are Gravel G12s. And they are the semi-automatic type. So it means it has the heel clip, but it has the plastic cup for the toe as opposed to the metal ring, which would have been also totally fine, but I wanted to get the semis so that I could use them here in Scotland as well, because I only have a pair of C1 crampons for use in Scotland, which have been totally adequate for everything that I've been doing. But I wanted a C2 crampon so that I could start to do more ice climbs here in Scotland as well. And yep, they're brand new, they're super sharp. I wonder how many holes I'm going to put in things with these, but yeah, just make sure you get yourself, if you are thinking about doing this type of thing, you know, I'm assuming it won't be the first time you'll have stepped in crampons, but you know, if in doubt, Gravel is probably, you know, the best shout, the most recognisable, and they make really, really good gear. And top tip, size them for your boots before you go to the mountain. The amount of times that I've been out with people here in Scotland and you see them trying to, you know, and we're high in a mountain, up to your knees in snow, there's ice fields everywhere, and then they're trying to size their crampons for their boot. Like, it just doesn't work. Size it before you go. That's what I've done. So I know that my boots are a size 47. I have set these, I've put them on the boot, and I've tried them to make sure that when I do get to the mountain, there's no faff and it's dead easy. Moving on, helmet. Again, I treated myself to a nice new helmet for this expedition. This is the Petzl Sirocco, and Petzl claim it's the lightest helmet that passes all of the certifications that you can use for climbing and mountaineering. I really like it. I mean, it really does weigh nothing, you know, nothing at all. Actually, I would reckon that my camera clip that I've mounted onto it probably weighs more than the helmet itself, which is quite funny. Yep, cracking good EVA foam. It's got hard plastic on the top. I think that's how they get some of the certifications that they have. It's got surprisingly good adjustability on the straps and webbing. You can get a pretty precise fit, which is quite nice. And yeah, dead easy to use. Make sure you know how to work it with gloves as well. That's one of the big things. Like, you want to be able to do those clips when you've got gloves on. And that goes for all of your gear, actually. You want to make sure that you can work it whilst wearing gloves. But yeah, helmet, absolutely essential. Does the job. Okay, moving on to really fun things. So Manaslu is the type of expedition where you're going to be working with fixed lines more than an alpine style of roping, for example. So what you need is what a lot of people call a fixed line kit. Now you can buy these from certain places, or you can rent them. What I've done is I've made it out of the stuff that I already have, and what that involves is mostly this guy. So this is a length of rope with two large carabiners in the ends of it. And what that does is the end with the loop attaches to you, attaches to your harness, and then these two attach to the fixed line, or attached to tools that you are using on the fixed line, which I'll get to in a second. But the way I've made this, it's a 3 meter length of rope. It has just a simple overhand on a bight for the end, which you can pass through your harness, and then just what's that called? Yeah, you lark's foot it onto your harness, and then you can attach to the fixed lines, 1, 2 for safety. But yeah, and on these ends you have a figure of 8 with a barrier knot or a stopper knot, depending on where you're from in the world, and that just locks that into place, and it means the carabiner's not going to go anywhere. It's also doubly secure. Like, it would take a lot of tension for that to move as well. Now, in conjunction with this, you would have these things, and the main one that you probably use most often is a Jumar or a sender, again depending on where you are in the world. You want to think about the length of rope. So these are pretty much designed to take between 8 and 13 mil ropes, which is absolutely what we'll be using on the mountain, and it's dead easy to use. This can move up, it can't move back. Dead simple. I would say you want to try and go for the lightest weight one you can. This, I can't remember the exact weight, but you know, it's super lightweight, and I've attached a carabiner to it for when I want to keep it on my harness. But yeah, all you would do is just have that on one end like this. This is attached to you, you're going up the rope and down. Dead easy. The other thing that you'll use quite a lot is a figure of 8 descender, or some kind of belay device. I think a figure of 8 for these types of expeditions where you're only using one rope is totally fine. Again, same idea. You can either have that on your harness, or you could get a bit fancy with your lines, and you could create a loop in the line with just a simple overhand, and then that way the device is further away from your body if you want a bit more room to work with. So I've got plenty of options, and again, it has its own carabiner so that it can stay on my harness when it's not being used. Couple of spare carabiners, never a bad thing. I mean, I might even pick up a couple more, just depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, a couple of spare carabiners, always good. And then this is my just in case carabiner with a small 60 centimeter loop of cord, which I can use for prussocks or other safety knots or anything that I need. And then I also have a 120 meter sling. Now the sling is really multi-use. It could be for, again, for safety purposes. If I need a foot leash, I can attach it to my ascender and therefore create a sort of step up motion with that, which I think is pretty handy. It could also be used to leash my ice axe to me as well. So it's got multi-purposes, and I think these, if you're, as a bare bones, I think this is probably worth carrying because you just never know. And in these situations, you don't want to be caught short. So that'll be coming with me. Now, I did mention there was one item that probably isn't needed, but I have a reason for bringing it, and that is this extra length of rope. This is a 4 meter piece of accessory cord. Ultimately, it's a 7 mil rope. I have 4 meters, and the reason why I have 4 meters of it is purely just in case 3 meters on this fixed line kit isn't long enough. So I wanted to have the option of having more rope, and quite honestly, it weighs nothing. I'll probably put it in my duffel and I'll forget it's even there, but I just wanted the option of having it. So yeah, there you go. That is my climbing gear. I wouldn't say it's an exhaustive list by any means, but it's the bare bones of what I think I need for this expedition. I should also say that I'm by no means an expert in climbing. I do very, very little roped climbing here in Scotland, and certainly when it comes to alpine or Himalayan climbing, like, this is all really new to me. But as I said, I've done quite a bit of research, spoken to some people, and this is, from what I can gather, this is the generally accepted good practice. Take that with a pinch of salt, however you want. And obviously, you'll find out over the course of the expedition if all of this is actually worthwhile having and if it's used in the way that I think it's gonna. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions, I'm absolutely open to this conversation. Please drop us a comment, let me know your thoughts, what you think. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, because I'll probably do another video post-trip to really talk about my experience climbing, or climbing on 8,000 meter peaks. So, you can tune in for that. Plus you'll have all of the videos from the actual expedition itself. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.